Hello everyone, here's your weather hazard briefing for Tuesday, May 17th. It's going to be warm again today and through tomorrow. Maybe just a little bit cooler in a few spots in the past couple of days, but it's going to start to be a little more breezy, and Wednesday for sure windy. The winds continue into Thursday, but we see a change in the pattern by then. Temperatures the next few days running about, I'd say, in many places 5 to 10, maybe even 15 degrees above average. That, again, is through tomorrow. The winds are going to be out there today. They really pick up tomorrow, and they continue tomorrow night into Thursday. But by Thursday and Friday, we have a storm dropping over the area. The trend continues to take the bulk of that storm to our north and to the east, but the backside of that storm, a lingering part of that storm, will keep some showers in the forecast, the colder temperatures in place, but it's definitely trending drier for places like the Snake Plain, the Magic Valley, and the South Hills and the Albion Mountains. It'll be showery over the weekend, but we'll start to see temperatures rebounding as we get into Saturday and Sunday. On the satellite this morning, you'll notice clouds pushing through the area from southwest to northeast. There were a few showers earlier this morning, but by this afternoon, really not much going on. There could be a stray shower up around Island Park, but most of this will be pushing into Wyoming, into portions of eastern Montana. We're left with dry conditions, but that low, you can already see a few clouds moving into the Puget Sound area. That's ahead of that low that, again, drops into the northern U.S., the northern plains by the time we get into Thursday and Friday. The weather risk outlook, not much going on. We do increase the impacts tomorrow across the Snake Plain and Magic Valley. That's mainly just with a little bit of blowing dust possible in the afternoon. We pick those impacts up again Thursday, especially across the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, and South Hills, and that's because the winds will be much stronger. Would not be surprised even if we see some shower activity around, which again is getting closer to slim to none in those areas, some blowing dust. We get into the southeast highlands, there will be a few showers. It will be not as windy as across the Snake Plain, but still pretty breezy down there. The rest of the region is breezy. We'll have some showers and a few thunderstorms across the region. Friday, showers and storms again for the highlands mainly. We might see a couple of showers and storms across the South Hills and also up towards Idaho Falls and Rexburg across the Snake Plain. But we have the impacts increased for Friday. That's mainly for American Falls Reservoir as some gusty northerly winds and northeast winds pick up especially during the morning hours into the early afternoon across that area. But otherwise, not much in the way of impacts. This precipitation that we're seeing, it's trending drier and drier, like we've said. Temperature-wise for today, we're down just a little bit from yesterday, but still running above average. We're talking 70s in the lower elevations, 50s and 60s in the high country. If you're heading up to Stanley, right around 62 degrees, Salmon 72 this afternoon. For tomorrow, we pick it up a couple of degrees ahead of that low and would not be shocked, especially if we get some good southwest winds or southerly winds, seeing temperatures even warmer places like Pocatello, American Falls, Oakley, on into the Magic Valley. Might see a few spots pushing 80 degrees again. But it starts to cool off across portions of Lemhi County, the Central Mountains. That's a little bit of the cloud cover and a few late afternoon showers moving into those regions for tomorrow. Now, here a look at those winds. This is the most likely scenario, the forecast that is out there. Across the Arco Desert, wind gusts 35 to into the low 40s. Across the Central Mountains, some of the areas, especially mid and upper slope, pushing about 40 to 45 miles per hour on those wind gusts. Going into Wednesday evening, not much in the way of change in those wind gusts, maybe picking up a little bit farther to the south. As we go into later tomorrow night, those winds do start to spread south. Now, like we said, this is the most likely scenario for wind gusts. A lot of these gusts 35 to 40, maybe a few around 40 to 45. Looking at what we potentially could see. We may see higher gusts in these areas tomorrow afternoon and evening if we can get a little more stronger wind aloft to mix down. And some of these gusts, especially across the Arco Desert, out across the upper Snake Plain, even down towards Pocatello, Burley, some of these gusts in excess of 40 miles an hour, wind gusts of above 50 to 55 miles an hour in some of these places where we're talking the actual forecast around 35 to 45 miles per hour. Now let's go into Thursday. Look at the temperature drop. We're dropping it 10, 15, 20 degrees in some locations. Up in the mountains, it'll be in the 30s and 40s Thursday afternoon. So much, much colder, and with the winds, it's going to feel a lot cooler out there. Those wind gusts Thursday morning pretty much across the Snake Plain over into the big holes in the Teton Valley. Again, some of these gusts running 35 to into the low 40s for wind gusts in the morning. In the afternoon, a pretty good solid area across the Snake Plain, the Magic Valley, the higher elevations of the South Hills over towards the big holes, 40 to 45 mile an hour gusts. We might see a couple of spots hitting near 50 miles per hour in the afternoon. And like we said, these wind gusts definite higher potential for some localized blowing dust. Going to Thursday night, the winds continue to shift south, and they'll start to weaken, but still gusts 35 to around 40 miles per hour. Like we said before, we can actually see some higher gusts even on Thursday. And looking at this potential, you can see where we had those gusts in the 40 to 45, 50 mile an hour range. Some of these areas could see gusts, maybe not for very long, but potentially hitting near 60 miles per hour across the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, down into the South Hills, the higher elevations of the Southeast Highlands, and even still, especially earlier in the day, up across the higher elevations of the Central Mountains and into Lehigh County. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. And definitely these wind gusts, not only the blowing dust potential, but that also if you're driving a larger vehicle, a semi, you get caught in some crosswinds, might be a little bit of a rough drive for you tomorrow into Thursday as well. Temperatures on Friday, we do rebound a little bit. It's not going to be as windy on Friday, but we are still going to see temperatures running 10 to 15, maybe in a couple spots 20 degrees below average, and we start to pick those temperatures up slowly going into Saturday with mainly some mountain showers in the forecast. So again, warm and increasing winds for today and tomorrow. It cools off with the storm moving over us Thursday into Friday, but it still looks like the trend is for drier conditions. We may not see any moisture falling across the Snake Plain, the Magic Valley, down into the South Hills and Albion Mountains. The trend is definitely dry for the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley. Maybe not so much, at least for now, down in the South Hills, but it will be warming up slowly over the weekend. Have a great day, and do stay safe out there, everyone.